Sarawak's commitment to helping the homeless. 5 kilograms bottled cooking oil capped at 34 ringgit and 70 cents. Reasons to neuter your pets. Those are the headlines for tonight. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and this is TVS Nightline. The Sarawak government is currently in the midst of drawing up a long and short-term plan to assist the homeless in Sarawak, especially those who are experiencing mental health problems. Now, according to the Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah, further discussions and engagement sessions with various parties will be held to find an effective solution to eradicate the problem.
To have a short-term as well as a long-term plan for cases, not only the homeless, but also those who are not homeless but are with the family, and the families do not know how to handle them. This is an issue, a very big issue. We need to actually handle it very sensitively so that in our quest to become a developed state, dari segi fizikalnya, dari segi ekonominya, kita juga perlu melihat dari segi sistem sokongan sosial yang perlu kita wujudkan untuk kumpulan rentan dan disadvantaged and the needy in our community ini.
Fatimah said this during an integrated program to assist the homeless at the Cebu Homeless Transit Center in Cebu. The integrated program is a pilot project to further assist the homeless with mental health problems according to the standard operating procedures and key performance indicators of KPI, which have been developed on July 23, 2022 in Cebu. The program also includes rescuing homeless people with mental problems and place them at a Cebu hospital to receive treatments before placing them in a homeless transit center once they are stable.
We can't place them here because we do not have the personnel to handle individuals with mental issues. Kita tidak mempunyai sukarelawan ataupun personel yang terlatih yang dapat handle mereka ini. Jadi disebabkan itu kami perlu merujuk. We would always refer cases like this to those who are experts in this area, Jabatan Kesihatan. Tapi kita juga dengar tadi ada cabaran di sana.
Through the integrated program, a total of 10 homeless people with mental health issues have been rescued and sent to Cebu Hospital to receive further treatments. The minister added that Sarawak recorded 237 permanent homeless profiles in 2020 and 158 in 2021. And of this total, 38% are affected or troubled by mental health issues.
The ceiling price for 5 kilogram bottled cooking oil in Sabah, Sarawak and the Federal Territory of Labuan has been capped at 34 ringgit and 70 cents effective August 8. Now, Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Minister Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalinggi said the price is similar to that of Peninsular Malaysia.
The mechanism to determine the ceiling price is based on the simulated sales price of pure cooking oil at retail level, taking into consideration current developments of crude palm oil at global markets. However, the setting of this ceiling price also considered several contingency costs, including logistics, as well as situations faced by some retailers to exhaust their supply of pure cooking oil bought at all prices. Nanta said the setting of the monthly ceiling price for unsubsidized cooking oil is based on the previous month's average global price of a metric ton of crude palm oil CPO, which was decided at the Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation meeting on Monday. The task force chairman Tan Sri Anwar Musa had announced on the same day that the bottled cooking oil would be sold at 34 ringgit and 70 cents this month, effective August 8. However, he said the price would only be for peninsular Malaysia. Meanwhile, Nanta said the ban on unsubsidized pure cooking oil in all forms of polybags was gazetted yesterday to avoid confusion among consumers and exporters and to improve effectiveness of monitoring to reduce leakages.
Despite facing risks in handling strays, Sandy Kang Siu Lian chose to devote herself to protecting stray animals, taking matters into her own hands in setting up 10 for strays to assist pet owners financially when it comes to neutering and treating them. The former advocate and solicitor's lawyer has made it her personal commitment on advocating stray neutering would provide better quality of life for those animals.
Sandy has been actively participating in the ongoing effort since October last year, after witnessing pet dumping by irresponsible pets nearby her office. She said the intensive effort may be time-consuming. However, her struggles are lessened by her friends who are also animal lovers. She further stressed that neutering is proven to be effective and humane. Sandy stated that an average female dog can have puppies twice a year, starting around 4 to 6 months of age, which contributes to a high population of strays.
Strays, there are actually no more strays in the street. They're actually all abandoned pets that became stray because people just abandoned them. So I figured you have to control this population of the animal, because each time a dog gives birth, it's about 8, 6 or 10 puppies being born. You have to neuter them, and neutering of an animal is very expensive. It's about 200-300. So I figured, why not I get the community come together and then everybody chip in some money, and then we help to neuter all the animals.
To raise funds, she received donations from friends, and once her initiative gained traction, 10 for Strays received an overwhelmingly positive response from the public. As of July this year, a total of 53,000 ringgit has been collected to neuter and treat wounded cats and dogs.
So I started off, I WhatsApp my friends. I asked them, hey, I would like to neuter some animals. Would you give a donation? I was asking for about 10 ringgit from my friends per month. I said, but I'm quite busy. If you can just give 3 months advance, then I don't have to keep coming back to you every month to ask for money. So then a lot of people, they were very proactive in what I was doing. I was a bit surprised, and then some of them give me 200, some give me 500, some people give me 60 for half year, some people give me 1 year 120. So when everything is combined, when you have the funds, you can do a lot of things. So that's how my 10 for Strays started.
Meanwhile, she said spaying and neutering is highly cost-effective, as it beats the cost of treatment if an unneutered pet escapes and gets into a fight with the neighborhood strays. In this regard, she calls upon relevant agencies to work with the community on a more concerted effort and an effective outcome, especially in reducing pet homelessness.
A horseshoe-shaped metal object believed to be from the China's Long March 5B rocket debris discovery has a radiation survey meter reading of 0.05 sieverts per hour. The debris was discovered at a private palm oil plantation in Kampong Hulu Nyalau in Bintulu on Monday. In a statement, Bintulu Police Chief Superintendent Bartolomeo Umpit, the metal object was found at the palm oil estate around 9 a.m. on Monday, prompting the team to seek assistance from Fire and Rescue Department Bombas Hazardous Material Unit team to conduct an investigation. According to Bintulu Zone Bomba Chief Wan Kamaruddin Wan Ahmad, the HAZMAT and the Atomic Energy Licensing Board, Bintulu branch, carried out an initial investigation at the site before taking it to the lab for further investigation. The metal object is the latest find of China's Long March 5B rocket debris after metal debris was found in 2 areas in Sarawak as well as in Kalimantan near the Indonesia-Malaysia border. In the past decade, politics in Sabah and Sarawak have been increasingly dictated by state nationalism, which locals refer to as the Malaysian Agreement 1963, or most commonly known as MA63, the legal instrument signed in 1963, which led to the formation of the Federation of Malaysia. The political instability in Peninsular Malaysia has led to further negotiations and positioning of rights stipulated under MA63 for Sabah and Sarawak for its gain in forming a government. Some parties are known to pitch their way to trump their opponents through ways such as the new proposed agreement to the MA63 moved in Parliament recently. Today, we had the opportunity to discuss on this matter with University Malaya Socio-Political Analyst, Associate Professor Dr. Awang Asman Awang Pawi.
Memang selepas 2013 sebenarnya isu-isu mengenai Sabah dan Sarawak itu semakin kritikal dan juga suara Sabah dan Sarawak juga dilihat penting dalam penentu pembentukan sesebuah kerajaan, khususnya pembentukan sebuah kerajaan di Putrajaya. Jadi suasana politik di semenanjung Malaysia sendiri tidak stabil, tidak ada jaminan yang begitu kuat. Jadi yang pelengkap penstabil ialah khususnya kerusi daripada Sarawak dan juga Sabah. Jadi mengapa perkara ini baru mereka beri perhatian? Perkara ini baru diberikan perhatian apabila semenanjung politik di semenanjung berada dalam tidak ketentuan. Mereka perlu memastikan Sabah dan Sarawak menerima, mengikut ataupun menyokong mereka. Justru itu, sejak itulah tawar-menawar politik, tawaran-tawaran politik, cadangan-cadangan perjanjian-perjanjian baru untuk dibuat atas nama untuk kepentingan Sabah dan Sarawak. Maknanya, jika politik di semenanjung kuat, mereka tidak akan melihat kepentingan dari segi Sabah dan Sarawak dalam pelbagai aspek. Sabah dan Sarawak hanya dilihat sebagai deposit tetap, tapi kurang diberikan perhatian yang sewajarnya. Jadi sebab itu, apabila mereka berada dalam keadaan yang terdesak, dalam keadaan memerlukan sokongan Sabah dan Sarawak, mereka cuba menawarkan pelbagai perkara, khususnya autonomi, hak Sabah Sarawak, tentang peruntukan, tentang perjanjian Malaysia 1963 untuk dilawati semula ataupun direvisit untuk memastikan Sabah dan Sarawak akan berpuas hati dengan kerajaan yang ada di Putrajaya.
At the same time, he called upon voters and politicians to be wary of positioning the rights of Sarawak to a greater force.
Apabila negara kita sekarang berada di ambang pilihan raya umum yang dijangka akan diadakan pada bila-bila masa, dalam masa terdekat ataupun dalam masa 6 bulan, saya kira autonomi hak Sabah Sarawak akan dijadikan manifesto parti-parti daripada semenanjung untuk menarik sokongan parti-parti politik di Sarawak dan juga untuk menarik sokongan daripada pengundi di Sabah dan Sarawak. Cuma satu yang perlu jelas, rakyat Sarawak, ahli politik Sarawak, parti politik tempatan di Sarawak, diharap mereka dapat menilai secara kritis, diharap mereka dapat mempertimbangkan cara bijaksana, kerana selagi ia bersifat manifesto, ia boleh dimanipulasikan oleh parti-parti politik yang mempunyai kepentingan agenda politik saja.
Coming up right after the break, 99 R&D C&I projects worth 5.6 billion ringgit approved. 3 entities establish innovation ecosystem. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Welcome back. 99 research, development, commercialization and innovation projects and programs worth 5.6 billion ringgit have been approved to support the development of innovation sector in Malaysia for 2021 and 2022 under the 12th Malaysia Plan.
Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the government would also intensify commercialization and innovation efforts to create more industry-based products and solutions with high added value.
Malaysia perlu terus berubah dan berinovasi ke arah negara digital yang makmur dan berdaya tahan melalui pendigitalan, terima guna teknologi dan inovasi bagi mencapai pertumbuhan ekonomi yang mampan.
Adding further, he said the commercialization aspects would also be given emphasis by ensuring that at least 50% of the total R&D expenditure is for experimental development research. Meanwhile, 3 entities have been established to develop the innovation ecosystem, with the first being the Research Management Unit under the Economic Planning Unit of the Prime Minister's Department to coordinate and organize the national research strategy. The second entity is the Malaysian Research Accelerator for Technology and Innovation under the Technology Commercialization Accelerator Program, aimed at boosting commercialization activities between academia and industry. The third entity was the Malaysian Science Endowment under the purview of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation (MOSTI) and the Malaysian Academy of Sciences, which will create alternative funding for R&D and C&I through collaboration between industry and international bodies.
Malaysia Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation confirmed that there was no radiation or radioactive element detected on the two metal objects found in Niah and Kampong Nyalau, Bintulu on Monday. MOSTI said the two objects suspected to be Chinese rocket debris are safe for further investigation and analysis.
It said Bintulu District Atomic Energy Licensing Board, together with the Hazardous Material Team, HAZMAT of the Fire and Rescue Department and the Bintulu District Police, have conducted an investigation at the first location in Kampong Nyalau, adding that the metal object did not emit any radiation and no radioactive elements were detected. Similarly, the second object in Niah, Miri, also showed similar results. MOSTI, through the Malaysian Space Agency, MISA, in collaboration with the Department of Chemistry, will carry out a detailed investigation on the two objects to confirm whether the objects are related to the re-entry incident of debris from China's Long March 5B rocket or not. The results of the investigation and analysis will be notified and appropriate action will be considered in accordance with Act 834, Malaysian Space Board Act 2022, and international treaties related to space under the management of the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOSA.
Malaysia and the United States value their long-standing bilateral ties and will continue working together on economic prosperity and security. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob and US House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi said this during a luncheon hosted in honor of Pelosi at a leading hotel here on Tuesday, August 2nd.
Pelosi and her congressional delegation arrived in Malaysia early on Tuesday as part of her official visit to 4 Asian countries. Ismail Sabri, in his welcoming remarks, pointed out that both sides had enjoyed good relations in all fields, including the economy, investment, health, and defense. The Prime Minister said the partnership was further strengthened and went a notch higher through the recently concluded ASEAN-US Special Summit held in Washington, D.C. from May 12 to 13, which also brought ASEAN closer to the U.S. The partnership was also strengthened through vaccine diplomacy cooperation, where the U.S. has donated 1 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to Malaysia to help the country fight against the pandemic. The Prime Minister thanked Pelosi and her delegation for her maiden visit to Malaysia in an effort to boost bilateral ties between the two nations. Meanwhile, Pelosi said she and her high-powered delegation are willing to learn more from Malaysia and collaborate closely in terms of security and economic prosperity. Kuala Lumpur is Pelosi's second stop after Singapore on Monday, before she heads to South Korea and Japan, with her tour being closely watched to see if Taiwan is also on her itinerary.
Now on to some international affairs. 3-year-old Brazilian twins who were born conjoined at the head were successfully separated after undergoing a 27-hour-long surgery in Brazil. Arthur and Bernardo Lima were born in a rural part of northern Brazil in 2018 and shared part of the brain and the main vein that carries blood back to the heart.
The twins underwent several operations in Rio de Janeiro under the direction of Paula Niemeyer State Brain Institute and Gemini Antoine in the UK. After several months of research, preparation, and using virtual reality projections of the twins based on CT and MRI scans, the babies were separated in successful surgery.
Nesse dia, eu fiquei tão desesperada, porque eu não aceitava aquele diagnóstico, né?
Conversar com ela. Eu falei assim, Adriele, eu acredito que talvez a gente seja capaz de separar essas duas crianças. E assim, Renata, eu aprendi uma frase, quando você tem 1% de chance, você tem 99% de fé.
The twin boys will soon begin their 6 months of rehabilitation at the hospital. After the operation, they were able to lie on a bed face-to-face for the first time. Arthur and Bernardo are the oldest craniopagus twins with a fused brains to have been separated. According to Gemini Antoine, 1 in 60,000 births result in conjoined twins, and only 5% of these are joined at the head.
France is entering its third heat wave of the year, which is expected to peak on Wednesday. The country has also been hit by wildfires which have led to hundreds of human and animal evacuations. The shelter opened in Saint-Césaire-sur-Seine in January and currently houses around 200 animals, of which around 85% are birds and the rest are small mammals like hedgehogs and squirrels. The whole ecosystem is being turned upside down by the drought and heat, leaving animals struggling to find food and water.
Là, on a une sécheresse qui est vraiment très compliquée. Si on n'a pas de la pluie dans pas longtemps, je pense que ça va être très compliqué pour la faune sauvage et pour la flore sauvage également. Là, on est sur un été qui est très chaud.
Many of the animals in the shelter live on a diet of insects, whose reproduction has dropped due to the hot and dry weather, destroying the wet environments they need to breed, in addition to the use of pesticides.
Tout l'environnement qui permet aux insectes de se reproduire avec les larves, etc., a été affecté. Et donc on a une baisse qui se rajoute à la baisse historique de la biomasse, du volume des insectes due à d'autres causes comme les insecticides, les pesticides, etc. Ça rajoute encore un impact sur ces populations d'insectes. Et donc les animaux, les oiseaux insectivores ou les mammifères insectivores comme les chauves-souris ne trouvent pas suffisamment de nourriture.
Breastfeeding can help protect babies against short-term and long-term illnesses and diseases. To know more about breastfeeding in conjunction with the Breastfeeding Week starting 1st to 7th August, join Science Food Officer Geraldine Edwina Anak Bukong on Sejahtera Asia tomorrow with host Juzaklan and Sharon Kezia 7:45 AM on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Freeview. That's all we have for the news at Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you.